There are times when you're just sick and tired of a job, or you want to advance your career without burning bridges with your coworkers or employers. So how do you quit a job in the most pleasant way possible? I mean, if you really like the place, it's going to be difficult saying goodbye. Plus, you want to do it as nicely as possible because your potential employer or your new employer will require or usually require at least one reference from your last employment place, and that is going to be difficult if you left things on a bad note. So the first thing that you should do is keep it a secret. By this I mean don't tell your coworkers, or as a matter of fact don't tell anyone just yet, because you don't want your boss to find out indirectly. I mean, if you change your mind later on, this is not going to go down so well. The second most important thing is don't leave abruptly. Just quitting without notice and not turning up one day can look pretty bad on you. Now, most employers like to contact past employers for a reference, and you don't want this review to be bad. Plus, turning up to your job to collect your final check can be pretty awkward. I mean, some places won't even give you your final check because you left without notice. Once you are absolutely sure that you want to quit, tell your boss first. And I mean, don't do it over text or email. Yes, do send him an email or a text to have a meeting with you in person. Now, the subject of this email could be important meeting, and the body text could be, I want to speak to you about my career here at this organization. Now, I know saying goodbyes can be difficult, but having this face-to-face conversation with your boss will create trust and it shows sincerity. Your boss is definitely going to ask you why you're quitting, and there is no reason to get into specifics if you're unhappy. Instead, you can voice your appreciation for the company and talk about your career goals instead of the problems. You could say something like, I love my job and I've learned so much working here. However, at this point in my career, I'm more excited to contribute my skills to another company where I can serve or make an impact on a different customer base. If you're one of the top performers at the company, your boss will definitely try to keep you. So unless you're dead set on leaving, make sure you consider what it would take for you to stay at the company. I mean, you can talk about a raise, or if your boss is not in a position to increase your salary, you can discuss options like vacation days or work from home, etc. If you finally decided to leave and your conversation went well, make sure you ask your boss for a recommendation on LinkedIn, or if you can use your boss as a reference on your resume. And if your boss is overloaded with work, maybe you can offer to write the recommendation yourself and send it to him for approval, because there is no better testimony of your skills than a recommendation from your last employer. Always give a notice period before you will not be with the company anymore. This will give your employers time to hire and train someone in your place without disrupting any work. Now, the standard notice period is around 2 weeks, but if possible, I would recommend you give at least a 1 month notice as it is more appropriate. Training your replacement. Make sure the transition is as smooth as possible. Take a hands-on approach and train the person who is going to be replacing you. Introduce them to clients and colleagues and be part of the onboarding process. Lastly, close with a thank you. On your last day at work, make sure you plan some good parting words. Praise your manager and colleagues publicly, or even in an email. But whatever you do, make sure you leave on good terms and not burn any bridges with anyone. Because there's a saying in Canada, the butt you kick today might be the ass you have to kiss tomorrow. Please make sure to like, share and subscribe, and comment down below on any other suggestions that you have.